all gonna be having our 477 paragraph here. So are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while, a long time ago. That was 25 minutes ago. Okay, anyways. Yeah, we couldn't finish this question. So my question is, in the past, was the government of a country generally elected by the people? Again, in the past, was the government of a country generally elected by the people? No, in the
No,
past,
in the past,
the
the
government of a
government of a country. Eh?
of a country of a
Of a
country
country
wasn't generally
wasn't
elected
generally
by
elected by
the people.
the people.
Yeah, because my headset gonna tear, not my ear. Again, what is the structure to have something done? Communicate again. What is the structure to have something done? Communicate. The
The
structure
structure
to have
to
something
have
done. Something
something
done
done,
communicates
communicates
that
that
we don't do
we
the
don't do
action
the action
ourselves,
ourselves,
but that
but
somebody
that somebody
else does it
else
for
does
us.
it for us.
Yep, giving examples. Giving examples. I don't
I
cut my
don't
hair
cut my hair
myself.
myself.
I have my
I
hair
have my
cut
hair
by
cut by
a
a
hairdresser.
hairdresser.
Well, another, do you clean your shoes yourself, or do you have them cleaned by someone else? Do you clean your shoes yourself, or do you have them cleaned by someone else? Which one? I clean. You
I
don't
clean
clean.
myself.
You
My,
clean yourself. I see.
my shoe
I see.
myself.
I clean my shoes myself.
I clean my shoes myself.
The other person last time I shoes my clean myself, huh? Okay, I clean my shoes myself.
I clean my shoes myself.
Yeah, I can analyze. So what can we use instead of the verb to have? What can we use instead of the verb to have? We can use
We
the
can
verb to
use the
get
verb to get
instead of the verb
instead
to
of the
have.
verb to have.
Do very young children sometimes get their homework done for them by their parents? No. Susan. Do very young children sometimes get their homework done for them by their parents? Yes, very young children
Very young
sometimes
children
sometimes
sometimes
get their
get
homework
their
done
homework done
for them
for them
by their
by
parents.
their parents. Ooh, pretty nice.
Yes.
I don't.
Mm, me too. Oh, sweet. No wonder Susan. Again,
Just
another two.
help,
Yeah,
but don't.
don't do
Mm.
something like that. No. Don't be so deep. Okay, another. So, do you think governments generally have too much power? Do you think governments generally have too much power? Yes, I think
Yes, I think
governments
governments
generally have
generally have
too much
too
power.
much power.
Yep. Who do you think is the most powerful person in that country? Who do you think is the most powerful person in that country? I think the
I
prime
think the
minister
prime minister
is the most
the
powerful
most
person, powerful
powerful
person
person
in this
in this
country.
country.
Do laptops use more power than desktop computers? Do laptops use more power than desktop computers? No,
No,
laptops don't
laptop
use
don't use
more power
more
than
power
desktop
than the
computers.
desktop
Than
computers.
desktop computers. Yep, me. Do you spend all your money, or do you try to save them and put it in the bank? Again, do you spend all your money, or do you try to save some and put it in the bank? I spend or I
Yes,
don't spend. I don't
I
spend all
don't
my
spend all
money.
my money.
I try to
I
save
try to
some
save some
and put it in the bank.
and put it in the bank.
In the bank.
In the bank.
Where is that? Again, if you saw someone in difficulty in the sea, how would you try to save their life? If you saw someone in difficulty in the sea, how would you try to save their life? If I saw
If I saw
someone
someone
in
in
difficulty in the
difficulty
sea,
in the sea,
I tried to
I
save
try
their
to save
life
their life
by
by
what? Throwing an
throwing
inflatable
an
balloon,
inflatable
inflatable balloon,
balloon
or
or a
a wood,
wood
or I swim.
or I
I
swim
swim to save their
to
life.
save their lives.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll just pray. Oh, I believe you can. I cannot swim. So sad.
just
Pray for
use the
you.
life jacket.
No, but there's no like that. Yep. Yeah, that's an on the spot incident. Anyways, another. What does an old man care to save himself from falling over while walking? And what does an old man care to save himself from falling over while walking? An old man
An old man
carries
carries
what?
walking sticks.
A
A
walking
walking stick
to save
to
himself
save
from
themselves from
save himself
save
from
himself from
falling over
falling over
while walking.
while walking.
Yep, would you save any time if you use the different means of transport to come to school, if not by bus, by train, or anything? Would you save any time if you use the different means of transport to come to school? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, I'd save
And
some
save
time
some time
if I use the
if I
different
use
means
the
of
different means of
transport
transport
to come to
to
school.
come to school.
Yep, when you close a computer program, does it usually remind you to save your work first? Like, ting, ting, that sound, right? When you close a computer program, does it usually remind you to save your work first? Yes, when I close a
When I
computer
close the
program,
computer program,
it usually
it
reminds
usually
me
reminds me
to save
to
my
save
work
my
first.
work first.
What kind of things does your country mainly trade in? What kind of things does your country mainly trade in? My country
My country
mainly
mainly
trades in
trades
cars.
in cards.
Yep. What do we usually mean by a trade? What do we usually mean by a trade? By a
By a
trade,
trade,
we usually mean a job
mean a job.
that a person
It,
does
that
that a
that
person
a person
does
does
mainly with their
mainly with
hands
their hands,
and for which
and
they
for
need
which they need
they need
they need
a
a
special skill.
special skill.
Yeah, what is one of the best paid trades in your country? What is one of the best paid trades in your country? What are the best
One
paid
of the best paid
trades in my country?
trades in my
Paid
country
trades in my country
is
is which one? What?
engineers.
Oh, engineers. Not car manufacturers. Okay, engineers. Why not?
Maybe.
Why not, right? Again, so what is the difference between the words close and close? Again, what's the difference between the words close and close? The
The
difference
difference
between
between
the words
the
close
words
and
close
close
and close
is that
is that
close
close
is
is
a verb
a verb
meaning
meaning
being shut.
shut,
Yep, whereas close
whereas
is
close
an
is
adjective
an adjective
meaning
meaning
near.
near.
Yes, so what is the closest you've ever been to real danger? What is the closest you've ever been to real danger? The
The
closest I've ever
closest I've
been
ever been.
to
You've
a
ever been.
not you, okay, you, okay. The
The
closest
closest I've
I've
ever
ever been
been
to real danger
eh,
to real
to
danger
real danger
was when I cut
was when I
myself
cut myself
while cooking
while cooking
and chopping
and
something.
chopping something. Ooh.
Yes, I think that was right before when you
Mm.
ah.
Mm.
Okay, another. If you went on a trip to New York, what would you see? If you went on a trip to New York, what would you see? If I went
If
on
I
a
went
trip
on a trip
to New
to New
York,
York,
I'd see the
I'd see
Statue of
this.
Liberty. I'd see the
I'd see the
Statue
Statue of
of Liberty,
Liberty,
etc.
etc.
Yep. In Canada, when people go on business trips, do their companies usually pay for everything. When people go on business trips, do their companies usually pay for everything. Yes, when
Yes, when
people
people
go on
go
business
on
trips.
business trips,
Yep, their companies
the
usually
company
pay.
usually pay.
Companies usually
Companies
pay
usually pay
for everything.
for everything.
Yep, so which would you prefer? An exciting trip to a big city for the weekend or a quiet fortnight on a beach again? Or a quiet fortnight on the beach again? So which would you prefer? An exciting trip to a big city for the weekend or a quiet fortnight on the beach? I'd prefer
I'd prefer quiet
which one? A
fortnight, quiet
quiet,
fortnight,
quiet
quiet
fortnight
fortnight
on the
on the
beach.
beach.
Are you sure? The beach? Really? Okay, they said night. Okay, okay. But that means 14 days though, right? Okay, another. So what does the expression every now and again mean in Japanese? So what is the expression every now and again mean in Japanese? The
The
expression
expression
every now and
every now
again
and again
means what?
means
Mm.
taki
Oh, in Japanese.
in
In
Japanese.
Japanese. I see. I see. I see the
No?
matter. I'm
Am
memorizing
I right?
everything. I'm memorizing the matters one day, and then
Taki.
the other ones. And
Huh?
now tokidoki.
Toki.
Yeah, and what a pity was how to say this one? What a
Pity.
pity? What
Ah,
a pity before?
kawaiso.
Oh, kawaii. So, yeah, I'm remembering them, so that's why. Thanks. Another, is it a good idea to give one's house a thorough cleaning from top to bottom every now and again? Again, is it a good idea to give one's house a thorough cleaning from top to bottom every now and again? Yes, it's a good
Yes, it's a
idea
good idea
to give
to give
one's
one's
house
house
a thorough cleaning
for
from a thorough
a thorough
cleaning
cleaning
from top to
top to
bottom
bottom
every now and
every
again.
now and again.
Yep. Another. So, what do you do with clothes that you no longer wear? What do you do with clothes that you no longer wear?
I
Donate clothes that I
donate
donate
clothes
clothes that I no
that I
longer
no
wear.
longer wear.
Yep, one example. Another, what's an island? What's an island? An island is a piece of land
An island is a piece of land
completely surrounded
completely
by water.
surrounded by water.
Water. Yep. So name me some oceans, please. Name me some oceans, please. The names of
The
some
names
oceans
of some
are
oceans are
the Atlantic
the Atlantic
Ocean,
Ocean,
the Pacific
the Pacific
Ocean,
Ocean,
the
the
Pacific Ocean,
Pacific Ocean,
and the Indian
and the
Ocean.
Indian Ocean.
Ocean, ocean.
Ocean.
Another. I mean, do you prefer to watch films at home on DVDs or at the cinema on the big screen? You don't. Do you prefer to watch films at home on DVD or at the cinema on the big screen? I prefer
I
to watch
prefer to
films
watch films
On where? On DVD.
On DVD.
Yes, maybe nothing. Maybe YouTube. Not even one. Okay, another. Do you buy CDs and DVDs more often in the shops or online? Do you buy CDs and DVDs more often in the shops or online? I buy
I
CDs
buy
and
CDs and
DVDs more
DVDs
often.
more often.
Where? Online or in the shops?
Online.
Online. But you don't trade. Maybe Toy. Okay, another. So, yes, guys, she doesn't really like watching anything. She likes studying English. Okay, another. Oh, I agree. Whoo. Again. Woohoo, only English. Yeah, kids can tell. Another, is it bad for your eyes to look at a computer screen for too long? Again, is it bad for your eyes to look at a computer screen for too long? Yes, it's bad
Yes,
for
it's
your
bad for
eyes
your eyes
to look at a
to look
computer
at a
screen
computer screen
for too long.
for too long.
You can close your eyes, guys. Okay, another, so what does your country produce? What does your country produce? My country
My country
produces
produces
cars.
cars.
Yep. What kind of things do people often boast about? What kind of things do people often boast about? People often boast
People
about.
often boast about.
Often boast
Often
about
boast about
their
their
jobs, things
jobs,
that they
things that
own,
they own,
etc.
etc.
Yeah, so guys, please don't boast too much. So only. Again, low key. Another. Is wearing a tie a necessity for some occupations these days? Is wearing a tie a necessity for some occupations these days? Yes, wearing a
Yes,
tie
wearing a tie
is a
is a
necessity
necessity
for occupations these
for
days.
some occupation
These
these
days.
days.
Yep. Another, what is the most important difference between tell and say? What's the most important difference between tell and say? The most
The
important
most
difference
important difference
between tell and
between tell
say
and say
is that
is
after
that
tell,
after tell,
we indicate a
we
person,
indicate a
the,
person,
the
the
person
person
we
we
are
are
speaking to.
speaking to.
But after say,
With after say,
but after
but
say,
after say,
we usually don't.
usually don't.
Yep. Give an example. To give an example, she told
She
him
told
that
him that
it was important.
he
It was
it
important.
was important.
She said it
She
was
said it
important.
was important.
Another. So after the verb say, she's your English. And again, another. After the verb say, how is it possible to indicate the person we are speaking to? After the verb say, how is it possible to indicate the person we are speaking to? After the verb
After the
say,
verb say,
it's possible
it's
to
possible
indicate
to
the person
indicate the person
we are
we
speaking
are
to
speaking to
by using
by
the word.
using the word to.
Yep, for direct speech, me, which word do we normally use? Say or tell. For direct speech, which verb do we normally use? Say or tell. For direct speech.
For direct speech,
Direct speech. We
we
normally
normally use
the verb
the
say.
verb say.
Give an example. Let's give an example. She
She
said,
said,
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
I always say. Okay, another. So which of these sentences is correct? He told me to go away, or he said me to go away. Which of these sentences is correct? He told me to go away, or he said to me, or he said me to go away. The first
The first
sentence,
sentence,
he told me to
he
go
told
away,
me to go
is
away is
correct.
correct.
Yep. So what are the three forms of rise? What are the forms of rise? The three
The
forms
three
of
forms
rise
of
are
rise are
rise, rose, risen.
risen.
Yep. Yeah. Have you ever risen before the sun has risen? Have you ever risen before the sun has risen? Yes, I've
Yes, I've
sometimes
sometimes
risen
risen
before the sun
before the
has
sun has
risen.
risen.
Actually, guys, every day. Okay, another. So, what is the difference between to earn and to gain? What's the difference between to earn and to gain? The difference
The difference
between
between
to earn and
to
to gain
earn
is
to
that
gain is that
to earn and
to
to
earn
gain
and to gain is
is
that
that the verb to
the
earn
verb to
generally means
earn generally means
to receive
to receive money
for work
for
done,
work done,
whereas the verb to
whereas the
gain
verb to gain
generally
generally means
to get more
to
of
get
something.
more
Of something.
of something.
Yep, if you bought a business, there was a visitor, the mosquito, and everything. Again, if you bought a business for 4 million pounds and sold it later for half that amount, would you be gaining by doing so? Again, if you bought a business for 4 million pounds and sold it later for half that amount, would you be gaining by doing so? Yes, no. No. If I
No,
bought a
if I
business
bought a
for
business for
4 million
4
pounds
million
and
pounds
sold it
and
later
sold it
for
later for
half that
half
amount,
that amount,
I wouldn't be
I
gaining by
wouldn't be
doing
gaining
so.
by doing so.
I'd be losing.
I'd be losing.
Yep, so how much would your loss be? How much would your loss be? My loss
My
would
loss
be
would be
2 million
200
pounds.
pounds.
2 million pounds.
2
Half that
million
amount.
pounds.
For sponsors. Okay, I'll share. Okay, another. Does your watch generally gain or lose time, or does it keep perfect time? Does your watch generally gain or lose time, or does it keep perfect time? My watch
My watch
generally
generally
what gain or keep or which one
keep
lose? Keep
keep
keeps
time.
its
Keeps
keeps its perfect
its
time.
perfect time.
Okay,
Yay.
I think so. Advanced, even advanced. Another. What is the best way to gain friends? I'm not sure too. What is the best way to gain friends? The best
The
way
best way
to
to
gain
gain
friends
friends
is to be
is
nice
to
to
be
people.
nice to people.
Yes, I'm very shy, guys. Another. Me is not shy. Another. How long does it take the average student to get a degree at university in your country? How long does it take the average student to get a degree at university in your country? It takes
It
the
takes
average
the average
student. It
students.
takes the
It
average
takes
student
the average student
about
about
how
4
many years?
years
4 years to gain a
to gain a
degree
degree
at university in my
at
country.
university in my country.
Yep, so it's similar, same, right? And as regards learning a language, me, would you gain anything by going to the country where it was spoken? As regards learning a language, would you gain anything by going to the country where it was spoken? Yes, as
Yes,
regards
as
learning
regards learning
a
a
language,
language,
I'd gain
I'd gain
something
something
by going
by
to the
going to the
country
country
where it was spoken.
where it was
Spoken.
spoken,
Why? Why? Because I'd be able
because
to
I'd be
speak
able to speak
the
the
language every day.
language every day.
Yep. So, are there any marks on those walls? Your wall? Are there any marks on those walls? Yes, there are some
Yes,
marks
there's some marks
on these
on these
walls.
walls.
Yep. So, what kind of marks are they? What kind of marks are they? They are
They're
stickers.
stickers. Yeah,
They're sticker marks. They're sticker
they're
marks.
sticker marks.
For an example, aha, you're thinking. Another, who marks your dictations? Who marks your dictations? I mark my
I
dictation
marked
myself.
my dictation myself.
Not dictation, dictations myself.
Dictations myself.
Yep. How many marks did you get in your last English exam? Again, how many marks did you get in your last English exam? I
I
got,
got
hmm, how many? 95? 94? 94, right?
94
94, right? Over 100?
of
Yeah.
100.
Yeah, I got
I
94
got
marks
94
out
marks out
of
of
what? 100
100
in my
in
last
my
English
last
exam.
English exam.
Yeah, that was the EPT, right? Again, another. So, which petrol company do you think is the most well-known trademark? Which petrol company do you think is the most well-known trademark? I
I
think
think.
which petrol company? Shell. Shell
Shell
has the
has
most
the most
well-known
well-known
trademark.
trademark.
Yep, you could also say Shell is a petrol company. Right. Okay, anyway, so only an example. Take a look at my book here. Again, guys, only an example. Okay. Okay, so what part of the book is this? What part of the book is this? It's the
It's the
bottom
bottom
of the book.
of the book.
Or again,
Or
it's the bottom
it's the bottom
or the base of
or
the
the
book.
base of the book.
Yep. So what do you consider to be the basis of a good life, Mia? What do you consider to be the basis of a good life? I
I'd
consider
consider
which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Happiness, money. Which one? Luck. Which one?
both
Oh,
happiness and money
to be the basis of
to
a
be
good
the
life.
base
Basis of a good life.
basis of a good life.
Who agrees for this life? Okay, another. What about this one? Is it normal for language learners to continue making basic grammatical mistakes even though they know the rules? Again, is it normal for language learners to continue making basic grammatical mistakes even though they know the rules? Yes, it's
Yes,
normal
it's
for
normal for
language
language
learners
learners
to continue
to continue
making
making
basic grammatical mistakes. Basic
making
grammatical mistakes
basic grammatical mistakes
even though they
even
know the
though they
rules.
know the rules.
Yep. So, what do you think is basically the difference between your language and English? Only example. So, what do you think? It's basically the difference between your own language and English. I think that
I think that
basically
basically
the difference
the difference
between
between
my own
my own
language
language
and
and
English is
English is
grammar.
grammar.
Yep. So, when you stay at a hotel for one night, does the price you pay usually include breakfast? Again, when you stay at a hotel for one night, does the price you pay usually include breakfast? Yes. No.
Maybe?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So when I stay
When
at a
I
hotel,
stay at a
stay at a
hotel
hotel for one
for
night,
one night,
the price I
the
pay
price I pay
usually
usually
includes
includes
breakfast.
breakfast.
Includes
Includes
breakfast.
breakfast.
There was a big circle. Again, another. So what do we use to clean our shoes with? Again, what do we use to clean our shoes with? We use
We
a shoe
use a
brush
shoe brush
to clean
to
our shoes
clean our
with.
shoes with.
Yep. So what other kinds of brushes are there, Miyu? What other kinds of brushes are there? There are hair brushes. There,
There are hair
there,
brushes.
there
There
are
are
hair
hair
brushes,
brushes,
toothbrushes,
toothbrushes,
paint brushes, etc.
paintbrushes, etc.
Yep. Do you like to watch boxing? Do you like to watch boxing? Yes, no? No?
No,
I don't like to
I
watch
don't like to
boxing.
watch boxing
Why not? Why not? Because it's
because it's
what,
scary.
scary. Or you could also say
It shows it
violence.
shows violence.
An example, right? It's fun. You did box me. Remember?
No, I
She's a
can't
good boxer, guy.
remember.
She's even a kick fighter, you know. Self-defense. Okay, anyway, what about this one? So, what type of film do you watch most? What type of film do you watch most? I watch
I watch
Disney movies
Disney
or
movies,
Disney films
Disney
most.
films, the
Most.
most.
The what?
Most.
Most. Yep. Again, I watch
I
Disney
watch
films
Disney
most.
films most.
Yeah, that's why, guys, she can sing. Yep. She
Mm.
likes high notes. Again, another. Can you type? Can you type? Yes, I
Yes,
can
I can
type.
type.
How many words a minute? How many words a minute? About
About
100 words a
100
minute.
words a minute.
Yeah, you're a good typer, though. Yep. Yeah, she can type my name, guys. My name. So sad.
So
It's
easy.
times 100, guys. Again, another. Have you met me on many previous occasions? Have you met me on many previous occasions? Yes, I've
Yes,
met
I've
you
met you
on many
on
previous
many previous
occasions.
occasions.
Yep. Did you have any previous experience with the Callan Method before you came here? Again, did you have any previous experience of the Callan Method before you came here? Yes, no? Did you have before? Not yet. No?
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I didn't
No,
have
I
any
didn't have any
previous
previous
experience of the
experience
Callan
of a
Method,
column method,
of that
of
Callan
that
Method
column method
before I came
before
here.
I came here.
Yep. So, what do people often make videos of special occasions like weddings? Okay, what do people often make videos of special occasions like wedding? People often
People
make
often make
videos
videos
of special
of special
occasions
occasions
like
like
weddings so that
weddings so that
weddings so that
weddings so that
they can
they
remember
can
them
remember them
better.
better.
Another. So, what do we mean by a street plan of a town? What do we mean by a street plan of a town? By a
By
street
a
plan of
straight
a town,
plan of a town,
we mean a
we
map
mean a map shows
showing the
showing the
streets
streets
of the
of the
town
town
and their
and
names.
their names.
Yep. So, do you usually write your plans in a diary? Again, do you usually write your plans in a diary? Yes. No.
No,
No, I don't
I
usually
don't
write my
usually write
plans
my plans
in a
in a
diary.
diary.
You do in Twitter. Okay, not always. Fine. Okay, do you think it's a good idea for teenagers to plan their futures, for example, while still at school? Do you think it's a good idea for teenagers to plan their futures while still at school? Yes, no?
Yes,
Yes, I think it's a
I
good
think
idea
it's a
for
good idea for
teenagers to
teenagers
plan their
to plan their
futures
futures
while still at
while
school.
still at school
Why? Why? Because
because
they have to be what?
they have to be
Prepared
prepared
for their future.
for their future.
Prepared for their future.
Prepared for their future.
Yes, even though they're young, right? Yeah, anyways, it's just a plan. Again, do you think a young person should be allowed to plan their own future without the interference of their parents? Again, do you think a young person should be allowed to plan their own future without the interference of their parents? Yes, no.
No,
No, I don't think a
I
young
don't think a
person
young person
should be allowed
should
to
be
plan their future,
allowed
allowed,
to,
allowed
allowed
to plan their
to
own
plan their
future
own future
without the interference of their parents.
without
The interference
interference
of their
of their
parents.
parents.
Why not? Why not? Because
Because
they might have a
they
lot of
might have a lot
mistakes
of mistakes
by
by
planning
planning
their future
their
alone.
future alone.
Yep. Again, and what about this one? So let's move down. What are the two basic types of auxiliary verb in English? What are the two basic types of auxiliary verb in English? The two
The
basic
two basic of
types of
types of
auxiliary verb in
auxiliary
English
verb in English
are
are
primary
primary
auxiliaries,
auxiliaries
and
and what? Model
modal
auxiliary.
auxiliaries, auxiliary.